Last one. What we expect to be the highlight. As you can see, it's the darkest in color.
Yes.
Actually, I'm quite surprised, side by side. There's not really much of a gradient. It's just four kind of golden colored, and then one with a little more, a little more copper to it.
Yeah, which would make sense. If export, they're probably going to get some of the coloring from the barrel itself.
So this is the Dewars 8-year Portuguese Smooth. Frank, you want to do the honors since this is your favorite?
Yeah, so Portuguese. Okay, so Portuguese. Yeah, you get it? So port wine is from Portugal. So they finish this in an export barrel or butt, cask, whatever you want to call it, whatever, depending on the size. And so port is a fortified wine similar to sherry, but I would say for me, port is more intense in flavor than sherry. That's for me. Now, of course, there's different types of sherry.
Yeah.
There's PX, there's, whatever. But, I mean, for me, PX, Pedro Jimenez, there's different guys. But, I mean, it's still something that had intense flavors.
So port will always tend to add a little more dried fruit flavors, and that's why it's a little more intense. They tend to talk about it being more preserved, more sugary. Sherry can have a wider range, because the Finos don't taste as much like the ports do. Those are going to be more subtle.
The Fino sherry,
But as you get more towards the PXs, that gets more of those raisiny, really, really preserved kind of sugary flavors.
Exactly.
And that's the first time I've heard someone say pork butts.
Jesus. All right.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. So according to the flavor notes, stone fruits. So when you say stone fruits, like peaches.
Yes,
like the stone
with
in the
a
middle.
little pit.
Yeah, pits, right?
Hard pits in the middle.
So even cherry could technically be a stone fruit.
Yep.
So dark red fruits, so grapes, apples,
Cherries.
and honey. So yeah, I mean, all these dark, intense flavors should be a part of it. So let's try it out in front of the camera. And our last whiskey, I know we've been doing this probably for about an hour or so, give or take, I'm assuming. I'm a line producer here. 40 minutes or so. That's good. Actually, we're making great timing. So we could cut this up later.
Yep.
But cheers.
Cheers. Last one. This is, as you know, I'll say it now, this is a Frank's favorite.
It is. I mean, so they say the red fruits, right? Like, even when I smell it, I see the color red.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, sometimes when you smell things, you see colors, right? And especially when you close your eyes. So close my eyes, I smell this, I smell the color red.
Yeah, it's warm. It's rich. That really brings out the color red.
Yeah.
And for me, those are my two big colors, red and green.
Red and green.
Green will be crisp, cool, grassy. Reds are always, to me, like rich, spiced fruit,
Like right now, this is the perfect
fruit.
time because the holidays now. After holidays, it's still winter.
Mm-hmm.
Where in places where it's cold, this is a cold. For me, it's a cold weather whiskey, right? Because it's so intense in flavor.
Yeah, for those of you fans checking it outside the Philippines, we are suffering. It's a terribly cold 75 degrees.
Oh, so cold, so cold.
Our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to you guys who are
freezing in LA right now.
Yeah, freezing in LA, part of the States.
Yeah.
We're at 75 degrees. Come visit.
Come visit, yeah. Well, you're freezing in supposedly sunny LA. Supposedly, you're freezing your Christmas bells off.
Yeah, your port butts.
Your port butts off. But man, listen. It's a sweet nose. It's a fruity nose.
Well, the thing I like about this is substance. It carries throughout. It's not like something that's just gonna. Oh wow, flavor gone.
Does it have good bone structure?
Yeah, that's what it is. It has good structure. You taste flavor throughout. It's not like everything packed in the front. Nothing.
I could. At
the end of the day,
I could literally smell grapes, right? And I close my eyes. I could smell the grapes. Obviously a bit of black pepper from the hard alcohol. But that's fine. It's a beautiful whiskey. And it's a blend, right? It's about $20.
Yeah.
It's not that expensive. I would say that the nose is similar to the palate, right? So same kind of flavors. You do get that. I would say this is probably has the best example of honey compared to the other ones. I mean, it's no wisps of smoke. I think the port does a job of hiding the wisps of smoke, but this to me, out of all of the five, this one is the most prototypical of Dewars.
I would say it would. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'd also say that this is probably the best evolution of Dewars. It really tastes like if Dewars decided to somehow uproot all four of their distilleries and move to Speyside.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden add that fruity flavor, that typical red fruit flavor that Speyside whiskeys have. Then all of a sudden that's what would be the result of it.
Well, you got to remember, Speyside used to be part of Highlands. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
That Speyside style. That's what I say.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Where it's intense fruit.
Yeah, but you have that extra sherry finish in there.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, I would say this. Most of the export, you're going to get, like, raisins.
Yeah.
Like concentrated raisins and... dried out plums, that kind of thing. You don't get it here. It to me, this tastes more like an ex-sherry than an export.
That's what I was saying. I don't really get the stone fruit more than I get the red fruit. Yeah. I get more red fruit in this.
Exactly. You taste other exports. You could taste almost raisins. You don't get that here. But I mean, I'm famous. People that know me quite well, they know I love my ex-sherry, whether it's like a legit Macallan, especially stuff from the 90s.
Right.
80s and 90s, that Macallan was beautiful back then.
This really reminds me more of a sherried whiskey. And, Frank and I, we agree on a lot of things. Like, if we're talking, like, especially on base notes, like, good or bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we have our nuances on what we prefer. Frank definitely prefers sherried whiskeys.
I do.
Like, you really love your sherry. You're a sherry guy.
Yeah.
I actually like stone fruit. Frank will tell you how much I love peach.
He loves peaches.
Peach notes in whiskey and plums. So I tend to go more towards...
I mean, you enjoy peach pie.
Dude, peach pie, peach in my face, you name it.
Yeah, peach in your face.
But yeah, this definitely doesn't have any of the stone fruit that I'm familiar... Because I look for that.
Yeah.
Just like I look to avoid desiccated coconut, I look for, like... Glen Grant Arboralis, Glen Grant the Majors Reserve.
The Majors Reserve, which you really enjoyed, which has now been cut, right?
Cut, but I mean, that was all peach, so that was completely subjective. I've had people tell me, that was a terrible whiskey. I was like, do you like peaches? No, oh shit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I wasn't, and you know this, I'm not the biggest fan of peaches, or even canned peaches.
Right.
I never got into it, but I get it.
Yeah, and that's why you're not a big fan of the Majors Reserve.
Yeah.
That's one of our very few disagreement points. You like the Arboralis more. I like its replacement. I prefer the Majors Reserve. I still have a bottle hidden somewhere which no one will ever find, even though it's cheap because...
Oh, I'll find it.
Dude, why would you bother?
I know, I wouldn't bother. But I'd find it just to find it.
Oh, you find it just to find it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd find it.
This is why I'm hiding it, because he'd drink it out of spite. He's the only human being I know who would drink a whiskey to deny me a whiskey.
No, I would drink it up into that much left.
Oh, that much left.
Just so you could have a nice little, 30, 45 ml.
Just as like a parting gift before it's gone forever.
Yeah. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Leonard, because I at least did that to
you. Yeah, and then it'll have to refill the bottle and be like, here, I can refill it for you with something else, but it'll taste like peaches if you do it soon enough.
Oh my God! You know what? God, yeah, I know what he's referring to.
That's called the fifth whiskey. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the fifth whiskey. And listen, I will still say this. Now after drinking all five, the port is still my favorite.